It is 8:30 and we're following breaking news of a fire at a Duke Energy substation. This is in Matthews. Our team just arriving to the scene. You can see the smoke and the flames. About 11,000 people are without power right now. And this fire started around 7:45 or so, and it looks like they are working to get those flames out right now.
Yeah, we don't know how this fire started, but as you mentioned, over 1,100 people out of power right now. We know that that outage is in the Matthews area. It extends all the way to Indian Trail. Matthews police and fire are on scene. They have the area closed down. East St. John Street is closed from I-485 to Stallings Road right there. So they're trying to keep people out of the area. We've also been seeing on Twitter a lot of reports of people seeing a lot of smoke in the area. So the neighborhoods around there obviously affected by this as well.
And we've been able to see the smoke in the air from several of the cameras that we've got around town. We do know that a foam unit with the Charlotte Fire Department is on the way to help with this response. Again, we have reached out to Duke Energy officials to try to get some answers into how this fire started and what the impacts, because they won't be able to assess the damage until the fire is out and it cools down, and then they'll know what repairs look like. We do have this picture that Stallings fire officials tweeted out not long ago, showing just how thick the smoke is and how black it is there. And just to give you an idea, when a fire is very intense and burning, that's when we typically see the dark smoke. We're not seeing as much of that right now. If we can go back to that live picture that we have, we're zoomed in there on the flames, and just shows you
wow,
the intensity of what's happening right now in Matthews.
And you know, it wasn't that long ago. It was only in February we saw the Weaver fertilizer plant fire there and all the smoke that caused in the area. We haven't heard of any evacuations there because we do have fire crews on the way. But of course, still trying to figure out how this fire started, any impacts to areas surrounding. But we do know that they do have that area blocked off from any traffic entering. And
you can see some of the vehicles moving around there trying to assess the damage. And of course, priority number one is get the fire out. Again, this substation is off Old Monroe Road near I-485. So certainly we will start to see the impacts that some of the closures are having around this area. We can go ahead and look at our Independence camera. It just gives us another view of the smoke from this major fire at an electrical substation here in Matthews. And this gives you a perspective of miles away.
Right.
This camera is from where the fire started.
And White, as you mentioned, as we've been watching this, even over the past 15 minutes or so, the smoke has changed in color. First, we were seeing that dark black smoke initially. Now you can see it's lighter. From our Independence camera about 10 minutes ago, the smoke was dark black billowing from that area. And as you mentioned, we will see the changes in traffic as we see. We want to we want to take a closer look here.
This is one of those, if you're just tuning in, a Duke Energy substation is on fire. This is down in Matthews, and a substation is just a part of a tool that Duke Energy has to kind of bring electricity that's generated at in other areas at the power plants into a city, so it can get out to businesses, homes, apartment buildings. So that is on fire, and it's impacting at least 11,000 customers right now. And we're on the ground there looking at the fire burning right now, and our Savannah Rudisell is there working to get some more details, if they're even available at this time. There's still probably a lot of questions for firefighters and Duke Energy crews on the scene.
Well, you mentioned with that substation bringing energy to those areas, it's not just the Matthews area that's affected. As we're taking a look at the outage map there, I'm just looking right here, Indian Trail, Stallings, Providence Estates East, all those neighborhoods are also affected by this because that substation provides power not just to Matthews, but also those surrounding neighborhoods. So a lot more people affected by this and probably will be out of power until they can get this fire put out and then assess the damage from there.
And we do know that John Street is shut down in both directions. This is to give fire and hazmat crews full access to this substation between 485 and Stallings Road. So we're starting to see some of those delays. There are firefighters there on the scene, Duke Energy employees. Again, the substation fire, this is happening at Old Monroe Road in Matthews.
If we take a look here, if we can pull up our speed map here, we can actually take a look at some of the changes going on there. We have that for us.
There we go.
Let's see here, taking a look at that. As you can see, all the red there. That's because, again, traffic is backed up as they have this area closed down. As we just mentioned, John Street closed east of 485 for that major fire. And as you can see there, that's where the slowups are, the reds, the yellows, as they try to clear that area so emergency vehicles can get access.
And